When rapper Aitch walked across that bridge just hours before the final, nobody saw it coming. The bookie's favorite, the fans' choice, gone in a heartbeat. But what Ant and Dak didn't tell you about that elimination is about to blow your mind. And the three finalists left standing, their jungle secrets are darker than you think. The jungle has been hiding something from viewers for 3 weeks, and it all came crashing down during Celebrity Cyclone. Aitch, the 25-year-old rapper who dominated the betting odds since day one, suddenly found himself packing his bags while fans screamed about rigged votes and demanded recounts. Social media exploded with conspiracy theories within minutes. People weren't just shocked, they were convinced something went terribly wrong behind the scenes. One viewer wrote that technical difficulties must have occurred. Another flat out called it rigged. But here's what really happened that nobody's talking about. The penultimate episode started innocently enough. Rats invaded the camp during the night, caught on camera trying to drag cooking oil across the ground. Shona McGarty looked disgusted, while Angry Ginge barely flinched, casually stating he wasn't bothered anymore after 3 weeks in the jungle. That moment right there revealed something crucial about the final 3 that producers desperately tried to hide. These weren't just celebrities playing nice for cameras anymore. They'd transformed into something else. Celebrity Cyclone arrived like a gift from the jungle gods. The final 4, dressed in shiny capes and tight cycling shorts that Deck joked gave new meaning to I'm a Celeb Unpacked, faced the most iconic challenge in the show's history. Aitch declared himself absolutely gassed, calling it the moment where dreams are made. Tom Reed Wilson explained something about his sainted Aunt Fanny while flexing his braced core. But what happened during that challenge changed everything between these campmates, and cameras caught every second. The water jets hit with brutal force. Ginge took multiple balls to the head but kept pushing forward as Ant and Deck chanted about the Ginge man you couldn't catch. Shona, nicknamed the Silver Songstress, collected stars from Tom but lost them in a massive tidal wave. Aitch grabbed the final star, dropped it, had to sprint back to the start while water pummeled him from every direction. Deck called it the world's most expensive slip and slide. Ant said it was his favorite cyclone yet. They completed the challenge successfully, all 4 stars secured. Shona screamed it was the best day of her life. Aitch simply said, "Cyclone? Completed it might," with that confident swagger that made him a favorite. But then came the Bright Ideas Challenge. The campmates wore helmets with light bulbs, figuring out actions to make them illuminate. Tom discovered thigh slaps triggered his bulb. Shona found success lifting a phone receiver. Ginge climbed into a hammock. Aitch said the word logs and his light activated. They won 4 chalk ices, but the lolly sticks held messages from the outside world. This is where things got really interesting. Ginge learned Manchester United beat Palace but drew to West Ham, then discovered Everton defeated Man United and started shouting obscenities. He joked he'd rather not have known. Aitch found out his mate got a girlfriend and went absolutely wild, running around camp jumping and screaming. Tom learned his nephew Albie won Star of the Week at school for telling jungle stories. Shona discovered Bones won RuPaul's Drag Race UK. These tiny connections to reality hit different when you've been isolated for weeks. That evening, the campmates shared an emotional conversation about their jungle journey. Aitch opened up on something nobody expected. He confessed that despite seeming super confident and sure of himself, he was absolutely bricking it before entering camp. His pride kept him going, telling himself he'd never given up on anything in his life. The vulnerability caught everyone off guard. Then he looked at his campmates and said he was buzzing, happy with who remained. He turned to Shona and asked what she thought. That's when Shona McGarty completely broke down.
The EastEnders actress had entered the jungle fresh from splitting with her fiancé. She'd lost her spark, her confidence shattered. But sitting there surrounded by Aitch, Ginge, and Tom, she realized something profound had shifted inside her. The tears flowed as she told them how proud she felt making it to the final 4. She'd found herself again in the Australian jungle, formed a bond with Aitch that viewers watched intensify daily. Some whispered about budding romance. Others saw genuine friendship forged through shared struggle. Either way, their connection became impossible to ignore. Then Ant and Dec walked into camp. The air changed instantly. Everyone knew one person was leaving. Ant teased them, saying it might be any of them. Hearts raced, breaths held. When they announced Aitch received the fewest votes from the public, jaws dropped across Britain. Aitch hugged Shona tightly, their bond evident in that embrace. He walked across the bridge with characteristic good humor, telling Ant and Dec he was absolutely over the moon. He insisted he wasn't being cheesy, that the remaining three were just mega. He'd woken up that morning not caring who won because they were all brilliant people. He wanted to get home and watch the whole thing back. But viewers weren't buying it. Instagram and Twitter erupted immediately. Fans demanded vote recounts. They called it rigged, unexpected, shocking. One person asked if somebody miscounted the votes. Another mentioned technical difficulties. The conspiracy theories multiplied by the second. How could the bookie's favorite, the man who'd been top odds alongside Ginge for weeks, suddenly crash out right before the final? Something didn't add up in people's minds.
Here's what they're missing, though. The final three aren't who you think they are. Angry Ginge, the 24-year-old social media star, whose real name is Morgan Birtwistle, entered as an unknown content creator and self-proclaimed superfan. He quickly became a fan favorite with his authentic northern charm and unfiltered reactions. Viewers loved his genuine personality, his friendship with Aitch, his complete lack of pretense. He's now the betting favorite to win at odds of 4 to 5. The Jungle transformed him from niche internet personality to household name. Tom Reed Wilson arrived late to camp, but captured hearts immediately. The celebs go dating receptionist brought warmth, cheerfulness, and what can only be described as magnificently eloquent vocabulary to every conversation. He calls people his sainted Aunt Fanny. He speaks in perfectly constructed sentences that sound like poetry. Viewers fell for his theatrical personality and genuine kindness. His odds sit at 9 to 4 for third place, but don't count him out. Late arrivals have pulled off upsets before. Then there's Shona McGarty, the former EastEnders star who entered broken and left transformed. She split from her fiancé right before filming began. The heartbreak was fresh, raw, visible, but the Jungle gave her something back. She found her spark again, formed that intense bond with Aitch, discovered strength she'd forgotten existed. Her odds are 12 to 1, making her the underdog. But underdogs have a funny way of surprising everyone when it matters most. The final airs tonight at 9 p.m. on ITV1 and ITVX, running for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Last year's winner, Danny Jones from McFly, will hand over the crown, having been in Australia all week for Unpacked. The voting is already open, with 5 free votes per viewer, either all on one finalist or split across the 3. You're not voting to eliminate. You're voting for who deserves to be king or queen of the Jungle. The votes close during tonight's show.
Before the final meal, they'll face one last Bush-Tucker trial together. Last year's finalists lay in wooden boxes stacked on each other for towers of terror, working as a team to win stars for a 3-course feast. This year's trial remains secret, but the stakes are identical. Success means celebrating their final night with favorite foods and drinks. Failure means rice and beans one last time. What producers aren't telling you is how much this final means for reality TV. The 3 finalists represent something bigger than jungle survival. Ginge embodies social media's power to create genuine stars. Tom proves authenticity and personality still triumph over fame. Shona shows personal transformation resonates deeper than any storyline. Whoever wins tonight doesn't just get a crown and scepter. They prove which type of celebrity Britain actually values in 2025. Aitch's elimination shifted everything. The final was supposed to be him versus Ginge, 2 Mancunian mates battling for glory. Instead, it's become unpredictable. Fans are divided, bookies are scrambling. The Jungle proved once again that nothing is guaranteed. Favorites fall,
and the public decides who deserves redemption, recognition, or rejection. Tonight, one of 3 unlikely finalists becomes jungle royalty. The question isn't who will win, it's who Britain has fallen in love with most.